Bananas and coffee have continued to boost the economic and social lives of Ugandan farmers and their homesteads. Bananas is a staple food for many tribes, while coffee has been among the leading cash crops in the country for a very long time. This has prompted Naads and OWC to give support to committed farmers and boost this life-saving venture. As a result of this campaign, 68% of Uganda's population would be saved out of hunger and poverty. These crops are historically known to grow better in the southern region of Uganda, such as Masaka and Butambala. But Naads has reached out to farmers in districts such as Arua that are ready to work and secure an improved livelihood. This initiative has registered great success. One such a farmer is Mr. Sam Wadri, who is also the district chairperson of Arua. His inspiration to work with the Naads project came after he was introduced to the idea by the President of Uganda himself.
The President invited us to his home. When we visited him, before we visited him, he took us to some farmers. There is a woman called Kiza, I forget the other name, in Masaka. We visited that woman, and by the way, we also visited her recently, some 6 months ago. I found she had now expanded. So when I saw that thing, we proceeded to visit the HE at his home. As usual, you know, he is one person who likes other people to develop. In fact, all Ugandans to develop and be rich. So he gave us lectures about wealth creation, how he wants all Ugandans to be earning a minimum of 20 million shillings per household. When the president lectured us, I was so convinced. It was actually now a reminder because he has been time and again talking about this.
Earning big with an extra income of about 1.4 million Ugandan shillings per month from his banana farm, Mr. Wadri is already on a fast track to realizing the Naads vision.
Every 2 weeks I'm able to get at least 700,000 shillings. Every 2 weeks. That means for now, I am getting a 1.4 every month. There are people who come all the way from Arua town, from Bondo. There are even colleagues who come from Kampala. They were first introduced to Kefa. They come in big lorries they buy from Kefa. Kefa then brings them here. If somebody comes to buy them from here, we sell a bunch at least at 20,000 shillings, between 15,000 and 20,000. But if it is taken to Arua town, a bunch like this one ahead of you goes at 25, between 23 and 25,000. But since the farm is still 1 year old, the profits are not so much. I expect to get a minimal of 4 million per month if all the extensions and so on are properly done. This is what I expect to get as net profit after making deductions, costs of maintaining them.
Having experimented with different varieties of bananas supplied by Naads to the community, Mr. Wadri and other farmers are full of praise for the many benefits.
The varieties which was introduced by Naads. Naads supplied some farmers who were interested. Actually, when you move around, you'll find that these bananas are of different varieties. So those ones introduced by Naads are very many here, except for me, I don't differentiate the names so properly, but they are doing very well. If we walk across here to where my farmhouse is, you will see the other types which are eaten when ripe. They are doing so well. And I think they are successful banana farmers in Arua here and in other parts of West Nile.
Bananas need a good amount of water and favorable humidity to grow well, and hence give the farmer the best yield. Consequently, Wadri says drought has been one of his biggest challenges since he started his business.
Then the biggest challenge we have here is water. You know, this is alluvial soil, which is mainly formed from the wash away from the rocks, and it catches sunshine easily. When there is a prolonged sunshine, it affects the soil easily. So during drought period, the yield of matoke is not proper because it is a crop that needs plenty of water actually.
Major General Anjina is the National Coordinator Operation Wealth Creation, and his professional advice to all Ugandans is that drought should never discourage you from agriculture. These are some easy ways that can be implemented to mitigate the challenge.
For all Ugandans, I would take this privileged moment to appreciate God for what our country is. I've been fortunate enough to be given opportunity under the means of defense to have trained outside the country in different nations, and also to have served and also engaged in training in different countries in the world. And the assessment I've made is that Uganda is a paradise. When it comes to agriculture, it is a place that would be ranked as one of the best countries in terms of agriculture, would feed way beyond even the continent. But the challenge we have been having, which challenge is that we have not been addressing critical things like water harvesting. We have people losing their agricultural farms, agricultural products because of drought. Short drought, people lose, which should never be a case with Uganda. Uganda was blessed by God to have plenty of water source. And in Uganda, it is only how deep do you go to get water. Water is even on underground. And with the presidential initiative of solar pump in order to pump water, I don't see ourselves in any crisis of failing in agriculture because of water.
To supplement his income even more and find satisfaction in farming, Mr. Wadri has also incorporated coffee onto his farm, and again, this has been supported by Naads.
Then this coffee, when the president directed that by each household under Operation Wealth Creation should be planting coffee, for me I picked interest. Other people were going for cows, for other enterprises. For me, I picked interest. They gave me, Operation Wealth Creation gave me coffee seedlings, 1,000 of them, which I planted immediately. Even before I set this banana. And these are some of them. Out of 1,000, I think less than 100 died, did not survive. But the others are what you can see now. A coffee tree like this should give you a minimal of 4 kilos. A minimal. If you have pruned it well, if you have maintained it well, minimal really, 4 kilos.
As a professional teacher and now a district head, Mr. Wadri's word of appeal is for young people as well as graduates and politicians to embrace agriculture just like he has.
My appeal is government has limited jobs. The public sector has jobs, yes, but those jobs are limited. They cannot be sufficient for all these school leavers, the thousands of youth who graduate from the university, who graduate from the colleges. Money is in the gardens. Money is in the farm. I want to appeal to the youth to embrace all government programs, like Youthful Livelihood Program. Government gives a minimum of 4 million, 5 million to each group. If you are very serious people, you can undertake, because for the youth they want quick money, they can undertake horticultural crops. But in this area where we are standing, watermelon does very well, tomatoes do very well, onions do very well, carrots, and call them cabbages. Those are crops that you can grow and fetch you money in a minimum of 3 months. 90 days you're already getting money. Because you will move, your shoes will get worn out for years and years. Out of frustration, you will begin drinking alcohol, which you think can be to avoid the problem. Never.